Hello there. Thank you for taking a moment to watch this video, and on this specific training we're going to continue to talk about the Armor dashboard, and we're going to dive deeper into the data, and we're going to start talking about filtering the data by lead source. Now hopefully you've watched some of the other videos, especially the dashboard overview, so you have kind of an understanding of the different options that are available here on the Armor dashboard. When you first load the dashboard, you're going to see a summary of all of the data for the last 30 days. And of course, this is specific to just the numbers that are protected by Armor. Now, to filter by lead source, over on the right-hand side, the first thing we need to do is make sure that we have the correct date range selected and that we're grouping the data by the appropriate time frame. I'm a big fan of daily right now because I don't have a ton of data and I'm sticking to just 30 days. Now, if you've got a lot of data and you've got more than 30 days you're looking at, you might want to start looking at weekly or maybe even monthly, right? But for me, I'm going to switch this to daily. I'm going to leave everything else alone and I'm going to jump down here to lead source. Now, hopefully you are using lead sources when you import your data into PhoneBurner. And in my opinion, it's so critical for you to track how effective any one particular source is compared to another source. So if you're not doing that, start doing that immediately. Now, if we look here, you'll see I've got vendor 1, import, special vendor, vendor 2, add a contact, Zapier, unknown, right? So I've got a few different options in here, very nondescript. Lead vendors, hopefully yours will be a little bit more descriptive than mine, but you get the idea, right? So from here, I can choose any one specific lead source, let's say vendor 1, and then I can click away and that will update all of the data on the dashboard to that one vendor. Now, I can, of course, include multiple vendors if I want. I just add an additional vendor and that's going to update my data. Now I can start to take a look at my graphs. So let's take a look at the call volume graph. I'm going to spend most of my time here on call volume and answer rates. Obviously, this is going to show me all of the call volume for these two vendors during this date range, broken down by the days that the calls happened, right? So each day is represented in here. Now, I might want to break this down further. I might want to drill down even deeper into this. So I can click on this little option here. Maybe I want to see the agents that made those calls. So I can choose agent, and here you'll see I have 4 agents that made calls during these 30 days, 2 contacts, and I can scroll over each one of these to see their call volume. I can break this down by carrier. Now, carrier is going to be a little bit more lame here because I don't have a ton of different carrier data. So we're going to jump away from that and we're going to go to phone number. So what phone numbers were used as outbound caller IDs? A little bit lame because I was sporadically calling and choosing different phone numbers during those 30 days. Yours is going to be a little bit prettier because, I'm dealing with demo data. Let's jump over here to, I'm going to skip line type because line type is going to be similar to the carrier data. Let's go to lead source. Now remember, I've already broken this down by 2 lead sources anyway. So now it's just going to be comparing those 2 lead sources as opposed to all of the lead sources during that date range. So here I can see the call volume for those 2 lead sources compared. So now jumping down here to the answer rate, very similarly, I can scroll through each one of these. Let's agent. I can see all of the calls by agent during that date range, by vendor. I can break this down by phone number. Again, a little less fun to look at because it was sporadic through the last 30 days as I was making calls on this account. We jump over here to lead source. Again, similar to the graph above, it's kind of nice to compare these next to each other, right? So I got vendor 1 in this bluish purplish color. Vendor 1 in the bluish purple down here. So I can compare them. Call volume to live answer rate right here on the same screen. And of course, we got all kinds of other graphs in here that you can take a look at. Some of them allow you to break it down just like we just talked about. Some of them don't have the same breakdowns. They're plotted out differently. But one of the graphs that's really fun to look at is down here at the bottom. And that is the call volume by state and answer rate by state. These graphs here can be fun to look at because then you can start to see, okay, what areas of the country am I having success in as far as live answers are concerned. So anyway, I hope this video has helped you better understand how you can get the most out of the PhoneBurner system. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and happy dialing.